Okay, valve grinding and lapping. Hang on, got the glasses, gloves, let's start with G. Don't attempt anything without the gloves. You will need a head and some valves. You will also need a little bit of oil. Halford's Classic 2050 here, very good indeed. 2050 for Harley-Davidson and old cars. Old Harleys, I suppose. I don't want any mistake. You will also need some grinding paste. It's got a coarse end to start off with, and then a fine end to finish up with. A bit like polishing. I'm hoping you can hear me actually, because music playing in the background is Dire Thorns, and you probably won't have heard of them. If my house was on fire and I had to save two things, it would be my Bible and this record, so Dire Thorns. This thing is a twizzle stick. It's got a sucker on one end and a sucker on another end, and you twizzle it. You will also need a head. This is the iron head, well, one of the iron heads, front and back, hang on, back. This is the back iron head from my 1979 XLH iron head, and as you can see it's been painted. It's also had all the carbon scraped out of it with a wire brush on the end of the drill, circular one. So now we're ready to put the valves back in. The valve guides are absolutely fine, there's nothing wrong with them. This spark plug, incidentally, I scrubbed all the crap off and repainted it. These spark plugs, you can't get them black. In fact, that wouldn't work because it earthed down the outside. That's just, I left it in so I didn't have to plug the thread up. And if NGK are watching, or Champion, or any of those fellas, black spark plugs, I mean, check it out. That looks amazing. There should be black spark plugs. Okay. I had it masked for painting, but I plugged these up anyway with toilet paper, toilet tissue, bog roll. Now, here are the valve seats. There's really not that much wrong with them, which is good, so they don't need recutting. But obviously the years haven't been kind. So what we do is, get this right now, right. There's two sizes of valve. This valve's quite big and that fits in there, like that. Ooh. And as your cams are going up and down, they're bouncing the conrods up and down, and it's going, whoa, like that, and it's letting, hang on, what's it doing? It's letting fuel in, bang, then it closes and it goes bang, and then this one opens and it lets the spent fuel out. And it helps if this metal seal here is as tight as possible. Now you can't put a gasket or a ring in there because it would incinerate, because these things reach about 1,000 degrees centigrade. So when the Beastie Boys say, engine running hotter than a boiling kettle, you can bet your bloody arse it is. It's running about 10 times hotter than a boiling kettle, otherwise there's something very wrong. So, that one is a bit of a snug fit, the others are very nice. Pick the worst one to show you. We'll take the oil. Take that out there. Right, that's quite enough. You only need a dribble. It's green. It has green blood. Doesn't the Predator have green blood? I'm almost certain the Predator has green blood. Just going to dip the end of the valve in there. It's just because this is sort of part of the rebuilding process, I suppose. So it's time to start using oil on things. Now we've got oil around the valve stem, and that's going to go all the way up the stem because we'll need to twizzle it. Right, twizzle stick is now holding our valve. take the grinding paste, you want the coarse end, and it's like baby crap. It really is. It's like an 18-month-old baby that spent the entire holiday at Rill eating sand. So it's pretty gritty. And you want to smooth it around the outside. Just as if you was, I don't know, greasing it, I suppose. About that much. That business about the baby eating sand, that does come from personal experience. It's all fun and games until they have to crap it out the other end, then they don't like it. Right, I have a ring of grinding paste around my valve, which has been lubricated. Now I insert it into the valve guide. Gives me resistance. Right. Hang on. Keep doing this for ages. You're going to be right here with me, I'm not even going to pause it. You'll also need some kitchen roll, or toilet tissue. It's exhibiting a lot less resistance now. I think that's a signal. So you can pop the valve up a bit. These twizzle sticks all have two ends. I think the little ones for really tiny valves, like mopeds and things. Lawnmowers. Right. Let's see what that looks like. That looks quite shiny. Okay, I'm happy with that. It's got its limits, the sucky stick. Right. The important thing, obviously, is to get all of this shit off. I will be washing everything off in petrol. Is my preferred solvent. Yeah, it's fine. The thing about this bike is I wasn't experiencing any compression problems, despite it having a blowing front cylinder. I mean, obviously it was a bit down on the front, but there was a reason for that. You can see it. It was a rusty front cylinder with a ring of gleaming black oily cylinder. It was as obvious as if it had soiled itself in white trousers. Right. It feels lovely, but the surface still looks mottled. But it doesn't feel rough in any way. Rather than overdo it, because I'll level with you, I have done this before, but it was in the late 80s to a BSA. I haven't done it in a very long time. I'm not an expert. So what I'm going to do is, because it was rough for a bit and then it got easier, I'm taking that as a signal that this bit is done. I'm now going to try the fine grinding paste, and we're going to see what that does. These little tubs are double-ended, so there's the fine stuff, it's in there. Again, smear sparingly around the shiny edge, shiny inner edge of your valve. There's absolutely no point getting it on the other side. Won't do anything. Well, it'll do plenty if you don't clean it off, but yeah, less of that, the better. Right. So there's my nicely smeared valve. I've got plenty on the outside. Probably heard that hitting home. Don't know if you can hear the air raid siren. It's okay, chaps, it's one of ours. Again, first twizzle, it does feel a bit gritty. It's offering resistance. Lift it and turn it occasionally. Didn't do that with the coarse stuff, probably should have done. I'll do it with the other three, it'll be fine. Like I say, the valve seats weren't an issue. There was no smoke, oil, blah blah blah. Compression was very good despite the front cylinder head gasket being blown. It was noticeably down on the front, but that was accountable. And I think it was the rear cylinder had a broken exhaust valve, one of the big ones. Right. I think we're nearly done with this one, it seems quite happy now. I should point out that this sucker is sliding around on the valve, but it's still moving it. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Like I say, they do fit very well, these things. I've got no worries on that score. That looks lovely and shiny actually now. I'm hoping I'll see the same in here. Don't forget, these have got incredibly strong springs holding them shut. It takes a hell of a force out of the camshaft to actually shift those push rods. You wouldn't want you to get your fingers caught in between a push rod and a camshaft, I'm telling you that. As I keep reiterating, I am going to wash this out with petrol. You do not want any grinding paste whatsoever inside any part of your engine. Oh my god, no. It can work its magic in so many ways. Right, this isn't a pro job. You know, the backs of my valves are still covered in crap. There's still a fair bit of it in there, inside those bits. But the actual combustion chamber itself isn't bad. There's a few remaining stubborn understains. The way to get rid of those, I probably will do it later, is put a small diameter drift on it and very lightly tap it with a metal hammer. It will shock them apart and then you can brush them out. I've already done it a fair bit actually. Okay, so now you've got a lovely, lovely, lovely seating valve that's better than it ever was before, and all you've got to do now is do it with another three. So just be happy it isn't one of those Milwaukee 8 things, eh? Let's give you another look just before I sign off at how beautifully it's all coming along. Even the side panel. I panel beat the side panel and it fits way, way better now. And it hides the battery and it hides the oil tank and it is very beautiful.